कि सर जब आप पता चला कि आप एज अ चीफ गेस्ट हमारे प्रोग्राम में आने वाले हैं, आपने हमारा निमंत्रण स्वीकार किया है, तो हमारी पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम में एक उत्साह भर गया। तो सर वो सभी बहुत उत्साहित हैं जब उनको पता चला कि आप आएंगे। सर इसके लिए भी आपका बहुत बहुत सहृदय आभार। सर भावनाएं बहुत हैं, लेकिन शब्द नहीं मिल रहे हैं कि उनको कैसे व्यक्त करें। अतः मैं यही कहना चाहूंगी कि आपका आशीर्वाद, विद्यार्थी सर का आशीर्वाद, आप दोनों का आशीर्वाद हमें मिले, निरंतर मिलता रहे, आप दोनों का मार्गदर्शन हमें निरंतर मिलता रहे, ताकि हम में जो भी गुण हैं उनके द्वारा है, या जो भी हमें जितनी समझ है उसके द्वारा हम अपने यूनिवर्सिटी की, अपने कॉलेज की प्रगति में अपना सहयोग दे सकें। सर आपका बहुत बहुत आभार, एक बार आपने हमारे निमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। अब मैं अपने प्रोग्राम के जो भी हमारा 5 डे प्रोग्राम हुआ था उसका जो समरी है मैं उसको बताना चाहूंगी। स्लाइड शेयर कर दी सर, 1 मिनट स्लाइड शेयर कर देते हैं हम। तुझे क्या था, कहाँ है? ये ये बेटा। चलिए, all the dignitaries, a very good afternoon. Now, I would like to give you the brief of 5 days AICT Learning, Training and Learning Atal Academy Faculty Development Program. The program was started on 13th September. We were privileged to have Professor V.K. Singh Sir, Vice Chancellor, Maharaja Ganga Singh University, Bikaner, as chief guest in inaugural ceremony. Sir said that our environment is continuously changing and facing many problems. With the help of green technology, it is possible to resolve these problems. Respected Professor A.S. Vidyarthi Sir, Vice Chancellor, Bikaner Technical University and Principal, University College of Engineering and Technology, and patron of the ceremony, said that being green is a commitment to a sustainable lifestyle in the present scenario. Green technology are playing significant role in changing the course of nation's economic growth towards sustainability and providing the alternative socio-economic model that will enable present and future generation to live in a clean and healthy environment. The keynote speaker of day 1, session 1 was Dr. Kapil Gehlot Sir, LM CST Jodhpur. Sir described the sustainable way for minimize the solid waste material generated from coal and lignite mining processing. Speaker of session 2 was Dr. Prateek and Seth Sir, BITS Pilani. Sir told us about the hydrogen production technology by using biomass. As we know that India is an agriculture country, so there is a lot of production of biomass. With the help of the techniques, we can convert biomass into the energy. Speaker of session 3 was Professor Kushal Kongu Sir, Chandigarh University, Mohali. We are facing the problem of shortage of water. Sir described the water harvesting technology from atmosphere water vapors. Session 1 of day 2 was taken by Professor Y.C. Sharma Sir, IIT Varanasi. He described about sources of water pollution and different technology for removal of methanic pollutant by using nano adsorbent. The session 2 of day 2 was taken by Dr. Praveen Purohit sir, ECB Bikaner. As we know, fossil fuels are depleting continuously. So there is a need to find out the way production of alternative fuel. Sir described the method of production of biodiesel. Next session was taken by Dr. Rashi Mathur ma'am, Joint Director and Head HRD, Department of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, DRDO, New Delhi. Ma'am told us about the role of nanotechnology in healthcare. The session was very interactive. She also answered the question of participant regarding COVID-19. Dr. Shalu Malik ma'am, Assistant Director, Regional Forensic Lab, Jodhpur, was the speaker of session 1 of day 3. Ma'am told us about alternate pest control strategies such as cultural control, use of resistance genotype, physical and mechanical control, use of biotechnology and nanotechnology. Session 2 of day 3 was taken by Dr. Narendra Bhojak sir, Government Dunga College, Bikaner. Plastic is the most hazardous element for environment. So there is a need to replace them by green plastic. Sir explained the synthesis of green plastic by using oak plants. He has made his lecture interesting by showing pictures and videos and asking questions for two-way interaction. Last session of day 3 was taken by Professor Shrikanta Rautre Bits Pilani. With the development of technology, the generation of e-waste is increasing. He gave some aspects of e-waste collection system in India. Session 1 of day 4 was taken by Mr. Akshay Kumar Mittal, COO, Soulcraft Technology Private Limited and Faculty of Art of Living, Jaipur. This is the novel initiative of Atal that they have inculcated this refreshing and energetic session of Art of Living in their program. Sir told us how Sudarshan Kriya improves our internal peace and immunity. Session was very interactive. Session 2 of day 4 was taken by Professor R.D. Garg sir, IIT Roorkee. They told us about the application of bioinformatics. The last session was taken by Professor Anupam sir, Bits Pilani. They described the various water conservation techniques. Today's first session was taken by Professor Anshu Dandiya ma'am. She explained various green chemistry techniques. And in last session was taken by me, and which was based on biomaterial and their application in medical sciences. Now, with the support of everyone, we have reached in the valedictory ceremony. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Over to Bhumika ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your welcome address and providing the overview of this FDP in such a simple and modest manner. I'm sure we had very productive descriptions, distinguished list of speakers, and moreover, a distinguished gathering of participants also. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our patron, most respected Professor A.S. Vidyarthi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bikaner Technical University, Bikaner, and Principal UCET, Bikaner. Sir has always supported and guided us and has been our mentor throughout the making of this FDP. Pleasure to introduce you, sir. Sir is a renowned researcher in environmental, food, cancer, computational biotechnology. Sir has completed 10 projects and supervised 25 PhD students, 67 postgraduates, and has 275 research publications in his account. Sir has researched on biotechnology with many countries, Canada, Italy, Australia, and Germany. Sir has worked as director in Nanni Pari Seemant Engineering Institute, Pithaurgarh, and Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow, and many more. At present, Sir is shouldering the responsibility of Vice Chancellor, Bikaner Technical University. Sir has encouraged us throughout the making of this FDP. I would request Sir to please present the patron note and bless us with your words. Sir, please.
धन्यवाद भूमिका जी. for nice introduction. I request over here to you and other colleagues of this that this much introduction is not required from the the host side. People are knowing the things, so it should be very short. मुझे लगता है कि आप अगर केवल इतना कहेंगे कि मैं अभी भी विद्यार्थी हूँ, एज ए स्टूडेंट काम करता हूँ, तो आई थिंक दैट वुड बी द गुड the introduction to describe my activities. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much for introducing me. परम आदरणीय प्रोफेसर MP पूनिया जी, the vice chairman of AICT, and the former director of the Engineering College Bikaner, and definitely is a very renowned person who have been associated with number of the task force which has led the AICT as a key agency for deciding the the fate of technical education in India. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation for today's validatory programs of 5 days FDP, which was conducted nicely by the UCT under the Atal the academy programs, and enriched number of the participants through very distinguished the resource person who have consented and given the lectures on various aspects of the sustainable development and the green technologies, using the green technologies. Now, as I am really involved in certain aspects of the the green technologies, especially in the bioenergy field, and utilize the biomass for the useful biomass as well as the waste material to useful products which have the better efficiencies and the feasible economically feasible the alternative before the society. So this topic was really very important in today's scenario where the governments both central as well as the state governments are giving a lot of emphasis to zero discharge the production processes. Normally, as we produced, definitely there we left over a lot of waste material during the process and the final making the products. So that has to be again either recycled or it should be treated very well before discharging the waste material to the environment, whether it is in the form of solid waste or in the form of the liquid waste or fluid waste. So if our technologies are designed in such a way where we can utilize the possible waste and into a value added material, I think then we can say that these technologies by which a certain product has been produced is green in nature, because it will not interact with the natures in control or uncontrolled way. So people are trying to make it number of by number of way, by making the green technologies or working on the green technologies, and the same time to utilizing the material intermittently which are the byproduct of the the various stream. So, so the net waste would be reduced. Most of the time, we are concerned about the carbon emission, which is a problematic and creating a lot of the ecological and the natural climate change type of situation, where the nature is behaving not like the patronizing the humans or the other creature, rather it devastates so severely that the even the civilization has been at this state. So point is that even if we cannot stop the production, we cannot stop the making the product which are useful to the human society and which has enhanced the comfort level or the and the lifestyle. So it is inevitable that you have to go for those kind of things. You have to be our slogan is that Atmanirbhar Bharat. So Atmanirbharta can be only maintained if we can produce all the requisite items required for the for the progress of the country. So that has to be managed by ourselves. If we stop the activity because of the climate change, we may not attain this. Rather, the masses is very loud and clear that, and the option is with us, that what kind of activity, how best we can, uh, arrange before the society, so that its impacts will be very minimal. And the same time, that it should not be so costly that it cannot be affordable to the society people also. So now the more of the focus has to be to take the use of the the biomass availability, or the we have the solar energy is a lot of potential we have. And as the last inauguration session, Dr. VK Singh was telling that we can think of the solar, because here the sunlight has a very straight, and that can be well converted to the solar in the form of the solar energy. So we have to harness those things which are less the polluting, but at the same time we have to also devise such efficient the mechanism by which the less energy has to be consumed. And if we can go by this, by taking the the better understanding with the small organisms or the microorganism, because next the bio is the new digital, so a lot of the brain activity has been mapped, and then it was utilized in the most of the the processes and the the computational aspects, and the people are further miniaturizing it. Those is big things, and they are serving the purpose. So now we appreciate the lectures of various distinguished experts who have been conducted in 5 days FDP programs. I also extend the warmness to all the participants who have been join this particular programs and remain there, because the variety of and very diverse information, starting from the conventional waste management to final nanotechnologies and nanostructures and less polluting the products. I'm sure that all the participants of this activity programs has been benefited, and definitely we have to learn a lot from the today's, the chief guest, Professor M.P. Punia, who has really struggled in establishing the institute, this institute, Engineering College Bikaner, as I have lastly seen, as the Anu was, very emotional that time by describing the affection with the faculties. So we have to learn a lot from Professor M.P. Punia, that he still have the learning approach and contributing with the full potential. So if this kind of attitude is there, then definitely we can assure that if we inspire the people like you at the very beginning of this your career, I'm sure that the Atmanirbharta definitely we will achieve in a very short period of time. So again, I'm thankful to the organizers that they have given me an opportunity to interact with you and the Professor M.P. Punia for this wonderful this evening. It's a very I'm very happy to see him, and I would like to listen him again. There is very crucial the success stories, how he has come out from those adverse conditions to a very fruitful or demonstrating positions. So thank you very much. And again, I'm thankful to the Professor Punia also for accepting our invitations. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Over to Bhumika.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your words of enlightenment and knowledge. It gives me privilege to acknowledge the presence of our eminent chief guest, Professor M.P. Punia, sir, Honorable Vice Chairman, AICTE, President Commission for Scientific and Technical Terminology, New Delhi. A renowned personality, sir does not need any introduction, but as customary, sir possesses a vast experience of more than 30 years, specialized in the field of mechanical engineering. Sir has guided many PhD and MTech students. Sir is presently serving as Vice Chairman, All India Council for Technical Education. Prior to this, sir remained as Director, National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, Chandigarh. Sir is recipient of Bharat Mata Award conferred by Indian Institute of Oriental Heritage. On behalf of NITTTR Chandigarh, he received National Award for the Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities by Honorable President of India. Sir has made many significant contributions for the growth and development of technical education in northern states of India. Sir has assisted UGC, National Board of Accreditation, NAC, Telecom Sector Skill Council of India for their academic achievements. Sir has visited many countries. Sir, the list is endless. I request sir to deliver the most awaited chief guest note and grace us with your words. Sir, please.
Namaskar. Thank you, Bhumika, for this wonderful introduction of mine. Professor Amrish S. Vidyarthi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bikaner Technical University, Bikaner. Ms. Anu Sharma, all the participants who are connected in this very special program which has been conducted by team of Bikaner Technical University. Very talented faculty members. As Anu was saying that she has telephoned to me and she was in fear that I'll be able to recognize or not. Anu, I never forget, and particularly teachers like you. I do remember specifically when I joined Engineering College Bikaner, it was 2004. Vidyarthi Sahab, in 2004 November I joined there, and the safe and situation and the name and fame which this university is having today, this sort of name and fame we were not carrying because it was in its initial stages. It was very difficult even to manage finances. Then faculty members were very young. Even today, young Anu, all of you are very young. Every day is giving youngness and energy, and whenever we are getting energy, when we are delivering, always we are young. anyone who is not delivering, even at the age of say 25 years, if he's not delivering, then he's old. Otherwise, people are young. So foremost thing, when I joined that time, that institute, it was not in this shape I'm saying to Honorable VC sir, but because the talent and the energy level which teachers were having in that institute, it was something very, very special. I never forget those moments which I spent at Engineering College Bikaner. However, the situation was tough. That temperature, that difficult situation, strong storms, industries were in the vicinity of that one, the quality of water which we were having around the institute. It was a difficult situation, but the moments which we were enjoying there, the moments in which we people were living, those were very, very special moments. I never had those type of moment after leaving that 2010 Engineering College Bikaner. Even I was at Chandigarh, Delhi, but those were special moments. The fragrance of that institute, the fragrance of faculty members and students which I observed, which I felt, it was amazing. So never think that I'll forget. I can't even forget. How I can forget, which is the part of my soul, which is part of my heart. I certainly won't be able to forget. And the way you are giving introduction of mine, and the way you are having words of this motivation for me, it was amazing. And though that sort of connect which I established, that pattern I have given to now Vidyarthi Sab. ये ऊर्जावान faculty members, talented लोग अब आपके साथ में हैं. That number is also very large. That time when I started, that was very limited in number, and their difficulty level, even they were not the permanent part of that institute. Some fixed amount we were giving to them. Probably they were not worried about that amount also. Never they asked that why our salary is only 8,000 rupees. When in neighbor in Dungar College or in university, if the teachers are getting some 30,000, why we are getting 8,000 rupees, even less than 8,000, because that person who were supplying the manpower, the agency, through agency, these people were. So he was also having some hand into that one, some 3-4-5% he was charging. But these special teachers, they never asked that why our salary is less. But they came to me. Whenever they came, they said, sir, what responsibilities we people will have to shoulder. There was a strong age gap between me and these young people. But amazing contribution these faculty members they have given. I salute them. It was wonderful time. Even today it is same, and hope under the leadership of Professor Vidyarthi, you will be bringing laurels for this whole country. Enormous expectation. At least AICT is having from you people. Today in that campus, 2 programs are going on. One is through this Atal Academy. Another one is Spurti program. It was for 15 days. And in fact, the program which we have given, it is in association with MSME Ministry and one NGO, then Engineering College Bikaner faculty members. They are in search of finding out that what entrepreneurship in the local areas can be established. Bikaner is very special for ceramics. Bikaner is very special for wool. Bikaner is very special for rasgulla. Then namkeen. Lot of resources it is available at Bikaner. So in what way those resources can be strengthened, and how some entrepreneurship or livelihood can be generated in that area. So in that area, people are working. 2 hostels we have given. For SC/ST students, we have given 2 hostels. Probably the amount is around 6 crore rupees to your family, this whole family. So hope that money also will be utilized in time to come, and quality infrastructure will be created so that the people who are backward financially, socially backward, they can also take the benefit. And the dream of national education policy which we are having, that access of the education, it has to be available for everyone, and particularly the areas like Bikaner, where not many industries are there, even agriculture, financial resources are less. In those areas, how we can empower our future generations. So that sort of hand-holding we would like to have, and because very dynamic Vice Chancellor now we are having after Professor Charan Saab, he has done a wonderful work there, and now same level of energy we are getting from our VC Saab. So certainly our association, AICT association with the Bikaner Technical University family, it will be continued. But foremost task is the access of education, it has to be provided. VC Saab, as on date, today in whole country, if 100 students are passing through 12th class examination, out of those 100 students, only 27 are getting opportunity to enter into higher education. When I'm saying higher education, education after class 12th. It may be engineering, it may be medical, it may be arts, craft, science, whatever you calculate, only 27% students are getting opportunity to enter into higher education. We don't know what is happening with remaining 73% students. Our target is up to the maximum possible extent, those people who are dreaming for this higher education, that opportunity it has to be provided to everyone. As compared to ours, US, this ratio is having 87%. If 100 students are passing in US 12th class examination, 87% are getting opportunity to enter into these colleges and universities. In Japan, it is more than 70%, UK more than 70%, Malaysia more than 60%. Our neighbor China, they are also having this gross enrollment ratio around 60%. Ours is only 27%. So the dream of national education policy is this gross enrollment ratio should become 50%. That is first dream. Second one, equity in the education. Meaning of equity is every student is different. The capabilities of every student is different. Some students are coming from backward areas, some students are lagging in languages, some students are lagging in mathematics, someone is weaker in chemistry, physics, engineering. So equity means the shortcomings which students are having, any area in which they are having shortcomings, those areas has to be touched. Depending upon the capabilities of the students, capacities of the students, teachers should change their type of teaching learning processes in such a way so that everyone can be brought up to a certain level where the expectation of the country is having. So important part is that equity also, and third one is quality. Meaning of quality is, suppose one particular subject we are teaching, 60 students are in our class, just like say Anu is teaching says chemistry. So important role of teacher is important role from initial stage, from first class, the role it has to be that teacher should be able to create interest of the students in that particular subject. That is the important duty of a teacher, that whatever we are delivering to the students, their interest, it has to be created in that particular subject. Then we are imparting training to them for 1 semester or 2 semesters, some skilling we are doing, some education component we are inculcating into them, and their heart's-own part also connect of those students to our society also. So all three dimensions if you are connecting, and when they are going out from the campus, if they are able to deliver something by their hands in that particular area, it means they have got the quality education. Means interest, it has been created in all dimensions of their personality development. After taking that training, when they are going into the society, they should be able to deliver, that is quality education. And fourth one is affordability, the cost of the education. That is very, very important. The biggest challenge in our education system is our higher education. Majority of the higher education institutes are in private hands, and their financial sustainability is coming through fee only. So fee structure of our Indian higher education institutes are quite high as compared to the family income which we are having. Family income on and average in our countries, it is around 1.10 lakhs or 1.2 lakhs, but the per capita fee which students are paying, individual students fee which they are paying, on an average cost of the education in a year in engineering education, it is around 1.5 lakhs. Their hostel, their tuition fees, their books, everything, if you are combining all together. So family income is less as compared to the children which they are paying for the purpose of education. And from one family, 2 children are dreaming, say, and out of 2, 1 is dreaming for medical education. Then even financial survival of that family, it is become a challenge. So affordability is also a serious question. You people now plan in such a way that how this education can become affordable to everyone. Can we plan some online classes in place of bringing all the students in the campus at one time, and if we can connect them for this education purpose through online and only for practical purposes if they are coming, so lesser time they'll be staying in the campus, more students we can accommodate in the same infrastructure, and cost of the education we can bring down. So that is again the dream of national education policy. We are a very large country. World's population is 7 billion, and out of 7 billion, we people are around 1.4 billion. So if small calculation we are doing, 7 divided by 1.4, the figure which you are receiving, it is less than 6. It means every 6th person on this globe is an Indian. We want our presence should be everywhere in the globe. The students who are studying at Bikaner or who are connected with Bikaner Technical University, they are not getting trained only for Bikaner. They are not getting trained only for Rajasthan. They are not getting trained only for India. Our dream is the values, the sanskara, the traditions, the confidence building which we are having, and the legacy which we are carrying of this Nalanda University or Taxila University. where we were at the top in the field of education, not only in GDP, in education also we were top in the world. That legacy our students should carry, and when they are going out from our technical universities, the degrees which they are having, it is not only A4 size paper with them, enormous responsibilities which it is there, and name and fame of our country that is also associated. So we want these talented students, these quality students should be able to cross the borders of our country, and wherever they go, they should be able to prove that we Indians are something different. Our family systems, our sanskaras, our knowledge, it is enormous, and we can work for the betterment of for the world. That type of confidence building in the students' mind we want to have, and we want, in lieu of that one, if they can bring dollars for this country will be growing only if we'll be having a strong financial base with us. Our infrastructure, our hospitals, our education, everything will be growing if we'll be financially strong country, and that teachers can do. The role of teacher is very, very important. First of all, I'll be saluting all the teachers who are connected or even not connected today. During last 1 year and 4 months time, the corona time, which was a tough time for everyone, we were inside the four walls of the houses. Students were also under trouble. But that time, the connect which we established with our students, many programs in between are connected with Engineering College Bikaner, this whole family, and many programs people were conducting, many teachers were connected. So no adverse impact it has come on our delivery system, our confidence level, no adverse impact was there. So in fact, we are the real warriors. We teachers are the real warriors. Police is the warriors, the doctors are the warriors, the nursing staff is the warriors, politicians are the warriors, but nevertheless, we are also never behind these warriors. So we have played a strong role of a strong warrior for the betterment of the country. Same level of confidence you will be showing in time to come, whatever new methodologies you people have studied about the sustainable development. When we are saying sustainable development, economy of the country should grow, the society confidence building it has to be, and environment should be stronger. If all these three pillars are growing, it means the development which we are having, sustainable development. For doing this one, role of teacher is very, very important, and we'll have to change. Everything is changing with a rapid pace. Why this Atal program we have given to you people? Atal, around 3 years back, one scheme we have started, because foremost task is the number of students who are coming out into the market after graduations. Industries are saying they are not being trained according to our requirement. They are saying universities are not having curriculum which is of their expectation. Industries are saying that we are competing at global level. Our technologies, our processes, our quality of product, we are producing of that level. Mobile may be produced by Japan or Indian companies, quality is same, cost is same, processes are same. They are saying the strengths which they are receiving from the universities, they are not able to do justice with that assignment. Their practical skills are weak, their aptitude part is weaker, their hands-on activities are weaker, their cognitive skills are weaker, they can't take decisions, they can't work in the team. So many suggestions they were giving, and one they were giving that emerging technologies which is coming into the market, maybe artificial intelligence, data sciences, cyber securities. According to that one, the students are not getting trained. So 3 years back, we have invited many of the industries at AICT, prominent academicians of the country. We said, you devise the curriculum, and our teachers will deliver. So many emerging areas, these emerging areas which I am mentioning, even the energy is also, sustainable development is also in those emerging areas, and that curriculum, it has to be developed at 3 years back. But important thing was that who will be teaching? First of all, teachers, it has to be trained in these areas, because these are the new areas. So during last 3 years, around 3,000 programs we have conducted in the country, and majority of the program, because online connect, since last 1 year or 4 months we were having online connect. During that time, around 2 lakh teachers it has been trained in these areas, and in this sequence we have given this program to BTU, that in sustainable development you please conduct program, and outcome of that program, it has to be in such a way that students should feel happy, students should feel confidence. So in that direction we people are working. Many schemes we are having, funding scheme for empowering our teachers, for strengthening the infrastructure, for bringing the confidence into the minds of the students, for Pragati scheme, just for increasing the enrollment of girls in Rajasthan. This year, 300 girls we have sponsored. We are paying them 50,000 rupees per year for the purchasing books, for laptop, etc. Then Sakshama scheme we are having for disabled people. Then we are having research promotion scheme, modernization scheme. It is for the institutes. Teachers are being permitted to go outside India for attending many of the events which is happening. For innovation, we are having our innovation cell. For Indian knowledge system, another cell we are having, and in every cell we are giving funding, but for that purpose we need quality proposals from the teachers. I'll be requesting everyone who is connected here, please do join hands with AICT. Alone no one can be able to do miracles. If we want to do something, change for the betterment of the country, for bringing name and fame for India, the connect of all the fraternity which we are having, maybe teachers, maybe students, maybe our academic leaders, everyone will have to join hands all together, and then we can change something. That sort of change we want. And finally, I'm saying to every teacher, please do update yourself, become lifelong learner. If we won't be changing ourselves, no one will be recognizing. Today in electronics you may be a very good teacher, but after 6 months probably your knowledge will be obsolete, and no one will be accepting you. So every day is a different day, every day is a new day, every day is a challenging day. We'll have to change. Just sometimes back, just small example I'll be giving, and I'll be closing because 3:30 I'm having another meeting. So one of student who studied in Pune some 30 years back, he did his BTech from one engineering college from Pune, and then he has gone to US. Probably he has done his MTech also from US, and then he has joined job in US. And during last 30 years, he never visited Pune. Last year, after 30 years, last year he has planned to come to Pune. And before coming to Pune, he has telephoned to his old friends that I'll be landing on this particular time to Pune. I would like to see Pune. During last 30 years, what is the change in Pune? That exactly I want to see before going to my parents. So after 30 years, when he has landed and his friends have gone to receive him at airport, they have taken him with them. They have started moving on the roads of the Pune. While he was moving on the roads of the Pune, when he has seen the automotive system, the infrastructure, the communication, the building, everything, when he has seen, he said it is not Pune. You have, unfortunately or by mistake, I landed in a different city. It is not Pune. So he was saying that the things have changed. Finally, those old friends of him, they have taken into that institute from where he has done his graduation. When he has entered into that institute, when he has entered into the classroom where he has studied, the same chalk, same duster, same board, same furniture, everything is same. Then finally he said, yes, it is Pune only. So meaning of my saying is everything is changing at a very rapid pace. It is changing, but our academic institutes are probably it is unable to put that pace into the system, and that's why the slackness or the blames of the industries are coming on us. My humble request to every teacher, please do change. Please do have a different day. Celebrate that day with your new knowledge, new confidence, and if that sort of change will be having in our personality, probably this young generation will become a strong human resource. If this young human being which we are having in billions here, if they won't be converted into human resource, it will be a challenge for everyone. So we teachers are special features in our society. Society is having enormous expectation from us. Please do prove that we people are something different. Society is surviving, society is in harmony because we teachers are in the society. Thank you very much. Best wishes to everyone. Hope many more programs will be having at Bikaner Technical University, and I'll be having more and more opportunity to connect with all people. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A sincere gratitude to you, sir, for gracing this program. Your words were full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. We'll try to fulfill the dreams which you have told, and we will try to update ourselves. Thank you, sir, for accepting the invitation in spite of your busy schedule and sparing your valuable time with us. Now it's time for feedback. I hope this FDP has added the new memories to our participants. We would like to know the feedback of this so that the further improvements can be made. I request Kushal sir to please give their feedback. So you are not audible.
Sir, unmute your mic, sir. Kushal, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
yes, sir.
Okay, I will give just a short feedback. I am very happy to see a range of experts and giving their talk on a variety of topics, which is of interest to a wide variety of audience. And I am a chemist, but I have been listening to lectures from engineering background, then chemistry background, of course, and of course the main theme that we had on sustainable development, which is very relevant because of the climate change, because of many challenges that the society is facing today. So a holistic development and of the society and the world can only come from new knowledge creation and training of young minds, and that can come only when we also interact among ourselves. The teachers interact ourselves through these faculty development programs. So I want to thank the organizers and and uh, and also the audience uh, who have responded overwhelmingly and attended all the sessions. So thank you once again to the organizers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for valuable feedback. Now I request Dr. Shishir Dikshit, sir, to please share their experience.
Hello, madam. Basically, I am man of power system, and in power system, I have basically working in the area of pack devices placement and reduction of transmission loss minimization and improving the power system stability. But now, as sir has said, the thirst area is the